Hey everyone, this is Acid Roots. We are going to essentially finish up F-Zero X today, June 25th. So, what that means is the only thing left is the Death Race and the X Cup, and I'm just didn't really feel like doing the X Cup. Eventually I will, but it's kind of like Star Fox. We'll pick that up in the future. So this is pretty much the final episode. And this is a bonus thing that Nintendo felt like including, just due to the fact that for the first time in the F-Zero series you can kill the other opponents. So I figured, well, why not make a game type out of this? And so it's worthwhile, and it used to be one of my favorite things to do in this game. But there aren't multiple stages for you to try this out on. So Captain Falcon is going to be the man that does it. And I don't know, the way that this series works is it's so hard to read because you can't really tell what most of these pilots' mottos are. So, usually that's a helpful thing, just because, with Captain Falcon, it's strange because he's a bounty hunter. He's a good guy, but he's also a bounty hunter at the same time. So to think that, he's a bounty hunter who doesn't break the law and, does, I don't know. This is different, but the thing is Nintendo kind of has a lot to do. I mean, Star Wars is kind of the same way, just because the the whole the whole creation of it is bigger than most of the movies would allow. And it's kind of like that with these video games. 30 characters is a lot, so. But, so I died, got 14 kills. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the Wii and everything. But the other day I was reading what the top selling video games of the 2000s decade were, and I did notice that really it was just the same games. I mean, I think the number one selling game of 2006 was Madden NFL 2007. And so, and it was the same thing with 2005. Madden was the number one selling game of the year. But I feel like this is so, people do this, but they look like idiots in the process, because when I go to video game stores, that's the number one genre of video game I see are sports games. I think it makes up at least 15% of all video games in the store. And you know you just we look like blockheads because we buy them, but then we get bored with them really quickly. So, but so these games were number one selling and everything, and I just happened to try to find some, and then I went on Amazon and I looked further into that, and like World of Warcraft was number one for like 2 or 3 years in a row. The Wii console, Just Dance. I don't know if you've heard about that game. I think most of you who are at least 18 have probably seen some form of that game. For the years 2008, 9, and 7, that was the number one game, and pretty much 2010 it was within like the top 5. So I don't get it, like really thinking about video games, the best selling games, and it's not even a game that is a video game. You know what I mean? Like in 1986, the best-selling video game was probably Super Mario Brothers. And if it wasn't, it was like um, Legend of Zelda or something. But you look at 2009, and it's a video game where you just dance the whole time. It's almost as if like the concept of video game is becoming more entertainment than actual gaming. So there's no ending, just dance. At least I don't think there is. Strange. I think it's pretty much something that you can play with your sister or your girlfriend or your mother or even your people who aren't into video games. And I really don't know as far as what to think, because if it's like that now, it makes me wonder. And if you're wondering 2014, 2015, well, the number one thing that was sold on Amazon was the $20 gift cards for the PlayStation 4. And so I don't know, this is difficult, but we look at what are the top selling video games anymore, and it's just getting to the point where it's not even gaming. So I wonder what these next 5 years are going to do and everything. But the point that I'm trying to say is just the Wii has been really kind of non-existent outside of actual good games. So, which I don't know. I mean, you'd think it's a gossip topic, but as a video game platform, it's actually not that good. So that's one thing that I've kind of realized, is just because the Mario games, you have to use the Wiimote, and Zelda's the same way. Metroid might be. There just wasn't nearly enough to do. The GameCube, I think, was better than the Wii by a lot of stretches. And even though most people would say the exact opposite, it just so yeah, I mean, but I guess the reason why I brought up the Wii is just because I would like to see a sequel to F-Zero. Would be interesting. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a racing game, but just seeing a story mode, and yeah, you would see a story mode and this more in-depth type things. This would be really interesting. But I mean, I'm just trying to think of what would be some other games worth mentioning. I don't know. I mean, we need like the Super Mario Brothers of 2015. That's really what we need, to something that's going to get people playing video games again. I really feel like that would be necessary these days. I don't care what platform it comes out for, Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, but we do need it. So, but alright, that's about it for this LP. Subscribe for more fun.